live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing you your top stories for tonight. I am Lakshadweep Singh.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines. Service of the railway station masters who disrupted the public transport has been suspended. People faced immense difficulties due to the railway strike today as well. The President stresses that unless the country should be steered forward with correct economic plans, the achieved economic victories may reverse. The second stage of the Kompanya Vidya flyover bridge declared open. Distribution of scholarships for the students of low-income families will begin tomorrow. Banindu Hasaranga resigns from T20 captaincy. We move on to local news first, taking a look at the top story. Due to the strike started by railway station masters based on several demands, passengers faced immense difficulties today as well.
Meanwhile, a railway commuter was killed by knocking on the railway platform yesterday. The victim was travelling from the slow train running from Colombo Fort to Polgahawela. He was knocked against the platform at the Bemulla railway station. The victim has been identified as a 45-year-old Perumal Sagadevan, a resident of Talawakele area. The victim was travelling on footboard at the time of incident. Since the train is congested with commuters, the victim had travelled on the footboard and in a dangerous manner. His body was taken to Vayangod railway station and then shifted to Watupitiwala Base Hospital. Meanwhile, a woman was hospitalized after she experienced a sudden illness due to a stampede in an office train compartment. Many railway journeys were cancelled today as well due to the strike started by the station masters and controllers since midnight of last 9th. Acting Railway General Manager S.S. Mudalike says that despite the strike, about 40 railway journeys were functioned today. Acting Railway General Manager S.S. Mudalike said that measures were taken to run 67 train journeys yesterday. Nearly 40 trains were also maintained this morning. Railway services were not properly operated along the coastal line today as well due to the strike. Ticket counters of the Panadura station were remained closed today as well. It was obvious that some commuters travelled without tickets. Our correspondent stated that since passengers travel in highly congested trains, there is a risk for their lives.
දෙවෙනි වේදිකාවට පැමිණෙනවා ඇත. දීගමෝ දක්වා සෑම තුම්රි ස්ථානයකම නවත්වනවා ඇත.
The National Transport Commission states that extra buses have been deployed to ease the inconvenience caused to the commuters by the railway strike. Chairman of the National Transport Commission, Shashi Velgam, said that a fleet of about 200 buses has been deployed for the convenience of the commuters. These buses started from Peta, targeting the railway commuters.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the Railway General Manager has issued letters suspending the service of the station masters who disrupted public transport by calling a sudden strike. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena
also confirmed this news following a ceremony held in Colombo today. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena said that when a passenger purchases a season ticket, the railway department is bound to provide transport facilities for them. If the strikers act as thugs, such a public service cannot be maintained in a country. These officers are being paid with the tax money of the general public. Therefore, they can't disrupt or sabotage the public transport services to gain political advantage. A person was killed due to this strike. Therefore, station masters and the strikers can be charged under the allegation of culpable homicide. Railway service has been gazetted as an essential service. In such an instance, trade union terrorists have challenged the common law of the country. This strike is not in pursuant to the existing laws of the country. Therefore, letters have been issued suspending the service of station masters. Although the station masters strike, drivers and other staff do not strike. They respect the law of the country. Those who do not respect the law can be named as terrorists.
The adjournment debate was held in the Parliament today regarding the holding of presidential election from the 17th of September to the 16th of October according to the Constitution. The proposal was brought by the opposition. Both ruling and opposition politicians expressed their views at this debate. Parliamentarian Andrew Kumar Disanayake said that according to the provisions of the Constitution, the presidential election should be held during the period between 17th of September to the 16th of October. The whole power is vested with the Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution. There is no need to have suspicions as to whether it is 5 years or 6 years. The Supreme Court has confirmed the term of President's office as 5 years in 3 instances so far.
Minister Susil Premajanta said that the final results of the struggle was to capture the parliament. At that time, there was a party leader meeting in the House. Then thousands of people started to come to the parliament premises, even with a bulldozer in the front. People of our country have forgotten the past incidents which occurred 2 years ago.
State Minister Suren Raghavan said that the government's aim is to achieve an economic liberation in a transparent manner. People have already decided whether to continue this journey. Some groups who have not even ruled a cooperative shop are attempting to gain the ruling power. This is not a time to do experiments. For an example, several fishermen tried an unknown liquid in a bottle and lost their lives. That is what will happen to the country if the ruling power goes into such elements.
Minister Kanchana Vijayasekar said that he feels that it is not the government who tries to postpone the election, it is some trade unions of the opposition. All these strikes in various sectors directly influence the election. Therefore, these trade unions should be stopped at this moment and required facilities for the election should be supplied.
Opposition leader Sajith Premdasa said that attempts to disrupt the election will be defeated by the Samagi Jana Balavegaya. The SJB will definitely act to confirm the people's right to franchise.
Parliamentarian Vajra Abeyewardena said that the President has clearly mentioned that the presidential election will be held after 5 years even before the Supreme Court rules out its verdict.
Parliamentarian Professor G.L. Peris said that this is not a proposal but an act. This will be notified by the Gazette for a period of 1 week. Then it will take about another week to submit to Parliament. It may be on the 23rd of July. Then there should be a period of 2 weeks for the citizens to challenge this bill at the courts. Then it may be the 6th of August. By then the Election Commission would have issued the announcement of holding the election.
මැතිවරණ කොමිෂන් සභාව ප්‍රකාශනය නිකුත් කරලා ඉවරයි. මැතිවරණ කොමිෂන් සභාවට ඒ බලය ලැබෙනවා තව දවස් 6කින්. ඔබතුමාලා මේ කල්තබිමේ
Parliamentarian Premnath C. Dolawatha said that under this draft bill, the government has no intention to postpone elections. The JVP is always trying to throw stones at the ground where a match is being played.
කොමිසුවේ තියෙන බලය අපි ආණ්ඩුවකට අපි ආරෝපණය කරගන්නෙත් නැහැ. ජනතාව පිටු වෙනුන හැමදාම කරන්නේ මැච් ගහන එක නෙමෙයි. එයා හැමදාම කරේ කවුරු හරි පිරිසක් මැච් එකක් ගහනවා නම් ඒ මැච් එක ගහන පිට්ටනියට ගල් ගහුවේ.
සමහර മന്ത്രിවරුන්ට ගිහිල්ලා
Parliamentarian Rauf Hakim said that some parliamentarians are unable to go to their electorates. Therefore, they want to extend the parliament for another 2 years.
නේද? ඉතින් එතකොට මේක ඇවිල්ලා ජනාධිපතිතුමායි පාර්ලිමේන්තු മന്ത്രിවරුන් කීප දෙනෙකුටත් මේක ඇවිල්ලා හරියට ඇලඩින් පාන ගන්න මාව ගනින්. ඒකයි වැඩේ. අපි ප්‍රථමයෙන් ජනාධිපති
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the government will hold presidential election first. A sum of 10 billion rupees has been allocated for this purpose. Then the Elections Commissioner will be able to hold the election on the due date. It is sure that a new president will be elected before the 17th of October. Ranil Wickremesinghe is the most qualified common candidate for this post.
කියද්දිත් කියනවා තාම සැකයි ජනාධිපති වර්ණයේ තියෙනවාද කියලා. කිසි සැකයක් තියාගන්න එපා. ඔක්තෝබර් 17 වෙනිදාට පෙර අලුත් ජනාධිපතිවරයෙක් පත් වෙනවා. ඒ පත්වීම සඳහා වඩා සුදුසුකම තියෙන පොදු අපේක්ෂකයා ලෙස රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහට පමණයි මේ ගමන ඒ ආකාරයෙන් ගිහිල්ලා රට ගොඩ ගන්න පුළුවන්.
ඉතා පැහැදිලිව මැතිවරණයට අවශ්‍ය ඒ සෑම
Parliamentarian Harshana Rajakarna said that the government should provide all necessary facilities to hold the election.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ රටේ ඊළඟ පාලනය ලබා ගන්න මේ රටේ ඊළඟ නායකත්වය ගන්න දේශපාලන පක්ෂ හැටියට අපි ඒ වෙනුවෙන් පිරිහිටනවා ජනතාවගේ අභිලාෂයන් ඔබේ අභිලාෂයන් එක
Minister Ali Sabri said that many people left the country during the past 2 years due to the economic crisis. However, the president was able to save the country with his efforts during the past 2 years. Now that people are willing to come back to the country, the president is the one who accepted the challenge of rebuilding the country. Therefore, it is sure that people are waiting to express their gratitude to the leader who built up the economically bankrupt country.
In the meantime, the railway strike, which was started by station masters and railway controllers, was called off from midnight tonight. Railway services will function as usual from tomorrow. President Ranil Wickremesinghe inaugurated the second phase of the flyover project today. The phase, constructed by the Ministry of Transport and Highways at a cost of 5.278 million rupees, spans between Kompania Vidya and Justice Akbar Mawat over the railway line. The Road Development Authority, in collaboration with Maga Engineering, undertook this project to alleviate the delays and traffic congestion caused by the frequent closing of railway gates for 109 daily train journeys in the bustling commercial area of Kompania Vidya, which hosts various institutions including government offices, hospitals, religious places, restaurants and cinema halls. It has been observed that nearly 3 hours of the day is wasted due to the closing of railway gates. With the completion of the flyover, travel from Kompania Vidya towards Golf Face in the Presidential Secretariat will be smooth and free of traffic jams, thereby contributing significantly to the national economy by reducing the time people spend on the road. The inauguration ceremony was attended by Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Senior Advisor of the President on National Security and Presidential Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka, and Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Highways Ranjit Rupasinghe. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that after the foreign debt restructuring program, it has been permitted to pay for the construction companies for the halfway stalled development projects, and Presidential Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka has specially held talks with international community over this matter. Discussions have also started with the Asian Development Bank, World Bank and other donors to get the funds released which were allocated to road development programs. Upon completion of the talks, the country will again become a work site with new revival of development.
The Colombo City Convention of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held today at the Hyde Park grounds in Colombo. It was held under the patronage of National Organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. Seniors of the SLPP and many others were present at the convention. National Organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that trade unions connected to our party do not start strikes to cause difficulties to general public. Our party struggles to develop state resources. The party will fight to develop the economy through inviting investors to start ventures. We as a party become happy by providing solace to downtrodden people.
සූදානම් නැහැ කියන එකත් අපි මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔබ එක්වන්න ඔබත්වල් බැඳ ගන්න ඉදිරියේදී ඕනෑම මැතිවරණයකදී ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොත්ජන පෙරමුණත් එක්ක ජයග්‍රාහී මාවතකට යොමු වෙන්න
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමාව ජනාධිපතිවරයා හැටියට පත්.
Parliamentarian Gamini Lokuge said that when Ranil Wickremesinghe became the president, Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna extended its fullest support to him. Therefore, the people of the country are now free of difficulties. Parliamentarian Sanjeev Edirimanna said that before Mahinda Rajapaksa accepted this country, there were bomb blasts, gunfights and siren sounds of ambulances in Colombo. All these negative situations were changed and Colombo has been transformed as a developed city by Mahinda Rajapaksa.
තැනක් බවට ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් තැනක් බවට පත් කළේ මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමන් බව අපි අද තාම කෘතවේදීව සිහිපත් කරනවා. එතකොට කොළඹ හදපු මහින්දට කොළඹ.
Parliamentarian Tissa Kuttiarachchi said that Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna is confident to win the presidential election. Majority of people in Hambantota, Kurunegala, Kegalle, Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa district will vote for the SLPP. Sajith and Andra factions cannot face the strength of the Rajapaksa camp.
පෙර පරිදිම රාජපක්ෂ කඳවුර දිනනකොට අනුරගේ කඳවුර සජිත්ගේ කඳවුර හාන්සි කරවලා කොළඹ ශක්තිය රටටම පෙන්වන්න පොට්ටුව වටා එකතු වන්නේ ඒ මහින්ද චින්තන මත බදනම් වෙලා හදපු ඒ
General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna Parliamentarian Sagara Kariyawasam said that some elements are attempting to disintegrate Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna, which was established based on Mahinda Chintanaya. People who are loyal to the country will never give up the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna.
The Presidential Scholarship Award for A-level students and students from grade 1 to 11 from low-income families will commence at the district level from tomorrow. The distribution of scholarships for the Colombo district took place recently under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Temple Trees, and beginning tomorrow, the scholarship distribution will extend to the remaining 24 districts across the country. Selected students in the Hambantota district will receive their scholarships tomorrow. Scholarships will be given in the Badulla, Matale and Jaffna districts on the 13th of July. Kirandochi district will follow on the 14th. Gampha district will have its distribution on the 16th and 17th of July, while Galle and Anuradhapura districts will receive their scholarships on the 15th of July. Further distributions will take place in Vavuniya, Battikla, Ratnapura, Kegalle and Nuwara districts on July 16th, and on July 17th, the scholarships will be awarded in Kalutara, Mannar, Ampara, Kurunegala and Kandy districts. The process continues on July 18th in Mullaitivu, Trincomalee and Polonnaruwa districts. Munaragala and Mathura districts will be awarded on 19th of July, and finally the Puttalam district will receive their scholarships on the 22nd of July. President Ranil Wickremesinghe's principle is that no one should be excluded during this challenging period. To enhance educational opportunities for children and prevent school dropout due to financial constraints, the President has instructed schools that did not apply for scholarships to apply promptly and seize this opportunity provided by the fund. Therefore, if a school has not yet applied for scholarships, the President's fund urges parents and students to address this issue promptly by submitting the necessary applications.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized that the country's progress would be undone without the implementation of a proper economic system. He stated that some individuals are spreading various statements aimed at undermining the economy and emphasized that falling prey to such false propaganda could lead to a permanent economic collapse. The President made these remarks while attending the opening of the main office of the Department of Cinnamon Development in Karandiniya, Galle today. A new department dedicated to the cultivation of cinnamon called the Department of Cinnamon Development was established and inaugurated following a proposal by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in the 2023 budget. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also launched the official website of the Department of Cinnamon Development. During the event, he was presented with a 10-year roadmap for the promotion of cinnamon industry and the Cinnamon Handbook, a technical publication on cinnamon cultivation. Additionally, President Wickremesinghe awarded GAP and GI certificates to selected cinnamon entrepreneurs. Expressing views, the President said that cinnamon cultivation in the country will be redeveloped and export economy will be strengthened. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the primary responsibility of this department is to enhance cinnamon production, starting with increasing output. The President said that each acre of land should yield maximum productivity and we should focus on cultivating high-quality cinnamon varieties instead of inferior ones. He said that additionally the area under cinnamon cultivation needs to expand. He said that the government proposes providing new land and encouraging the cultivation of cinnamon alongside other crops. He added that this initiative could potentially increase cinnamon production 3 to 4 times. He said that the situation that prevailed in the country 2 years ago should not be repeated. The President said that some claimed that the country was beyond recovery and that my assumption of power was illegitimate. He said that yet we have managed to steer the country towards recovery. He said that, however, if we fail to proceed in the right direction, this achievement could slip through our fingers. He said that we have now set a course for advancing the nation. He said that amidst diverse opinions and promises, our focus should be on safeguarding our hard-won progress and advancing further. The President said that therefore by staying on this correct path for another decade, we can seize the opportunity for uninterrupted development. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that this department aims to impart modern technological knowledge essential for cinnamon cultivation and instead intends to expand cinnamon cultivation by introducing new lands. He said that farmers in the Hambantota district are keen to cultivate cinnamon, which can mitigate the risks posed by wild elephants. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said that there is significant demand for Sri Lankan cinnamon in Mexico and other Latin American countries, where much of it is re-exported to the United States. He said that many are unaware that cassia, often substituted for cinnamon globally, can be carcinogenic. He said that hence with effective marketing, Sri Lankan cinnamon can achieve a higher value recognition.
A meeting between Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and the Speaker of New Zealand Parliament, Gary Brownlee, was held at the Temple Trees yesterday. The Prime Minister requests the New Zealand Speaker to promote bilateral economic cooperation and to extend further support to Sri Lanka under the Colombo Plan. They also discussed the long-term friendship between the two countries. Sri Lanka entertained franchise in 1931 and New Zealand 1989. The Prime Minister recalled that both countries are entitled to a pride record of dedicating to parliamentary democracy. The Prime Minister also thanked the New Zealand government for granting funds to establish Sri Lanka Dental Medical College in Maharagama under the Colombo Plan in 1958. The Prime Minister further requests the support of New Zealand to further enhance this medical college. The New Zealand Speaker expressed his praise regarding Sri Lanka's speedy economic recovery. He also assured the Prime Minister that New Zealand will continuously extend its support for this matter.
A program to offer employees Suraka Insurance premiums was held at the UNP Trade Union headquarters this morning. It was held under the patronage of Deputy Leader of United National Party, Akila Viraj Karyavasam. Suraka Insurance scheme was launched during the past period for the benefit of all school students. However, it was stalled later. The United National Party has taken measures to provide employees Suraka Insurance premiums for the employees of the Jatika Sevaka Sangamaya. As the first stage of this program, 6 families of deceased members of the Jatika Sevaka Sangamaya were distributed insurance premiums, each worth 100,000 rupees. Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Akila Viraj Karyavasam, said that teachers have come to the streets motivated by a political reason. He said that he is the one who increased the salaries of teachers, as he was the Minister of Education in the past regime. The President has also increased salaries recently, even amidst much economic difficulties. He said that the strikers want to cause inconvenience to innocent people.
We now move on to more local news items in brief. A religious ceremony is to be held on the 14th of this month to place Buddha relics in the Diga Vapi Mahasaya under the patronage of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. A media briefing in this connection yesterday was held in Colombo under the patronage of Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne. The Sri Lankan Navy has seized 13 Indian fishermen and 3 vessels while they are illegally fishing in the Sri Lankan waters early this morning. Northern Naval Command has monitored these vessels fishing off the Delft Island Sea area. A special ceremony was held to mark the 9th anniversary of the National Medicine Regulatory Authority at the BMICH premises today under the patronage of Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana. A portrait of Professor Senaka Bibile, who introduced the National Pharmaceutical Policy, was unveiled at this ceremony. The website of the National Medicine Regulatory Authority was also launched. Souvenirs and certificates were distributed among the staff to felicitate their service. A person has died in a road accident which occurred at Mankulam area along the A9 road. Another 3 has been injured when a van collided with a container carrier. 6 decades of service rendered by the veteran actor Shriyani Amarasena to Sri Lankan cinema industry was felicitated. A ceremony under the title Rangavartanaya Sriyaviya was held at the BMICH recently. A book compiled with documents of her cinematic life was also launched. Minister Dr. Bandara Gunawardena and many film directors, actors, actresses and many distinguished guests were present at this occasion. Well, that's it on local news, and we'll be back with news overseas.
Tinamu macang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
And in foreign news, an offshore earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.4 struck Sultan Kudarat province in the southern Philippines today morning.
The quake struck at a depth of 630 kilometers, about 91 kilometers southwest of Calamansig, a coastal town. Today morning, an earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.5 struck Sultan Kudarat province in the southern Philippines. The quake struck at a depth of 630 kilometers, about 91 kilometers southwest of Calamansig, a coastal town. The authorities declared that there was no harm reported from the earthquake. The authorities warned that there might be possible earthquakes.
A suspected wanted in connection with the triple killings of the wife and 2 daughters of a BBC sports commentator was found by the British police yesterday. A search for Kyle Clifford began on Tuesday evening. The police found 3 seriously injured BBC sport commentator's wife and 2 daughters at their home north of London on Tuesday night. John Hunt's wife, 61-year-old Carol Hunt, and their daughters, 28-year-old Hannah Hunt and 25-year-old Louise Hunt, later reported dead from their wounds. 26-year-old Kyle Clifford, who police warned may have been armed with a crossbow, was found in Enfield, North London yesterday afternoon and was receiving treatment for injuries.
A man was caught trying to smuggle more than 100 live snakes into mainland China by stuffing them into his pants. Customs officers in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen intercepted the man traveling through Futian Port, a checkpoint between Hong Kong and mainland China. During an inspection, officers found 6 canvas drawstring bags sealed with tape in the pockets of his pants. The customs agency did not say if the man was arrested, but it warned that if the regulations are violated, the customs will pursue legal liability in accordance with the law.
Kamu dah macam prima kotumi, fantamai.
And in sports news, Wanidu Hasaranga has resigned from the T20 captaincy. Sri Lanka Cricket announced this news today. He says that although he resigned from the captaincy, he will stay in the team as a player and make his maximum contribution for the country. Sri Lanka Cricket has announced that it has accepted the resignation and he will be included in the team for international matches in future.
Kamu dah macam prima kotumi, fantamai.
And that's all the stories for tonight. Do join us tomorrow.